Nilo Mac, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well, brother. Hope everyone's well. How we doing, guys? We all good? We'll get a few on. It's a wee bit slow starting, because I've been on and off with the channel. Luca, how you doing, big man? Phil, El Shay, Jaleese, how you doing, Jaleese? Hope you're all good, guys. Jimbo, how you doing, my man? Big Andy boy, Andy H, how you doing, Andy? Hope you're well. Bruce, Grim up north. Chris Glendinning, how you doing, Chris? Susan, how are you? Geordie Rundell. Yeah, how we doing, guys? We all good? David Milne, how you doing, my man? My mod. Big Brian's busy. He's getting on with a lot of stuff. The Thin Red Line. Keeping himself in a good place, which is great news. Big Brian's come a long way. Big supporter of the channel. And he's keeping himself fit, training, and just everybody's got goals. So remember, Celta 67, that'll be Celta. I hate to say it, right? Dot, how we doing, my friend? Did I cut out there, Neil? Sorry. I went to see an optician 2 years ago, right? My mate worked for him, and he said to me, for my age, he said, you've got absolutely fantastic eyesight. He went, you've got as healthy an eye as I've seen in a long time, and you can read the bottom line on the board, which is very unusual for somebody in their 40s, his words. So I was quite happy, and I always knew I had good eyesight. I've always known that. It was noticed a long time ago in the military, how good my eyesight was. And not that I had the brains to be a pilot, certainly didn't, but I was a great long range shooter. So he said to me, however, there's a catch. I goes, okay. And he said, in the next 2 years, Alex, your eyesight is going to start to decline, and it's going to decline noticeably. I said, how can you tell that? He went, it's just an age thing. Do you know, he was spot on. The 2 year mark was a few months ago, and I could have set my watch by him. Honestly, I'm going to actually, if I'm ever down that way again, I'm going to chap his shop and say to him, my eyesight started to just get funny, and all of a sudden, I could read my phone like that at night time. Now I find myself out here, right? So, it's asking you for ID to watch this channel. No, you're getting spammed by somebody. So I've got my phone away out here, and I'm like this now, reading my phone, and I'm going, can feel myself starting to do what I've always seen people doing, which is holding back. So I just thought I'd share that with you, which means we're not indestructible, which we know anyway, don't we? Remember we spoke about goals back in early January and what was happening and where we're at? Well, look at where we are now. Toy soldier, debit card or passport, what, to watch a YouTube channel? Nah, never heard of that in my life. It's an open channel, it's open to the public, so seriously, that's totally bizarre. I watched loads of people on YouTube, I've never seen that toy soldier. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I need longer arms, I need to kid on that I don't have a problem, but anyway, so it seems to be around about here, but my far away eyesight is still absolutely fantastic, which I'm happy about. I noticed that some people are commenting that it keeps freezing or something. I don't know what to do about that. There's nothing I can do, I don't think. Yeah, yeah. Hi Donna, how you doing? I'm good, Donna, thank you. It might be somebody scamming. I don't think you should ever, no YouTube channel that I know asks people to identify age restricted video. requested by uploader. Yeah, I did. I limited it to 18 and over, just in case there's swearing or anything. That's weird. That's weird. I'll need to check my settings. I might have hit the wrong thing. I might have hit the wrong button, guys. I'll ask David for some advice on that. That's weird. We don't have any bad content. You know that anyway, but I'm not a person, I don't swear a lot, so. So the goals I set, literally, as I say, I'm always honest, I'm always down the middle on my goals. My goals that I was setting, you know, fitness wise and diet wise, they basically, although I'm in pretty decent shape, I'm strong, they literally went out the window. DJ Audit, I love DJ Audit, he's brilliant. My goals literally went out the window, and if you make David a super mod, he can change that for you, right? How do I do it? So David, remove as standard. How do I do that, Julius? Susan, I think I need reading glasses. I'll get those 99p ones out, like out the shop in the high street. How do I make somebody a super mod? I'm clueless. But if we can fix it, we will. I've probably just hit the wrong setting, guys. So back to my goals. So I had made some goals and stuff, and I'd already had a few places that I'd wanted to tick off the map. I'd been looking forward to getting back to Torridon, where I've not been yet. I wanted to get back up to Ascent, but I'm going to leave that to probably April time. And one thing just led to another, and at time I've been really busy with my other stuff that I do, as you know, and I feel like the channel's been a wee bit neglected. You notice that because the algorithm drops you, it stops pushing you out to people, so my numbers and my views just collapsed. Big Matt Leg said the same thing. He's having to restart again, but Big Matt gets great views. He's away up at 20,000 subs, which is absolutely brilliant. He's seen the slate that I made for Big Matt the boxer. I sent it to him yesterday, it arrived today, and it was smashed to pieces in the envelope, which was a bit of a shame. Big Matt messaged me, he was gutted. I padded it well, posted it well, put fragile stickers on it. That's Royal Mail for you, they don't care. I literally think sometimes these guys are so annoyed with their jobs that they just damage people's stuff. Anyway, I'm going to make him another one, it's not a big deal. So, Bar is absolutely beautiful, Lou. Barrett is stunning. All of the islands, Giga, Rum, Egg, you know, all of them, they're all stunning. So you're saying you can type in the chat? Don't know. Frankie, I was on earlier talking to Deco about getting some advice and some paint for the van. He knows his stuff with all that, Deco, he knows it inside out, so my goals kind of went a wee bit skew with, just because I'm super focused on something else that we're growing and concentrating, but it's, you know, it's always been a thing that I do, some of you know that, and it just consumes you. So I have been out, haven't been out as much as I wanted to. I have, you know, I've not kicked the year off the way I had planned, but time's just flown. And that's kind of the essence of this video. You know, it's just like we're all guilty of thinking we've got loads of time. Now, we don't. We definitely don't have a lot of time. I just think to myself, am I guilty of setting my stall out too much? Mark H, I'm good, mate. And am I thinking to myself, sometimes I'm guilty of trying to cram too much into a week or too much into a month. I've got all these plans and all these places to go. I rephrase that, they're not plans. I don't make actual solidified plans. I have ideas and I have a scope, like projections of where I want to be, what location in Scotland, what mountain range I want to target and exploit. So I'll get to that area, I'll shack up there, set up a base camp, and I'll exploit an area over a period of days. The reason I do that is purely down to the cost of fuel these days. It's from a couple of years ago, it's became extortionate to move around now. So Robbo, how you doing, my man? Stevie Robertson, I hope you're well, Robbo. Hope you're looking after yourself, mate, and keeping healthy. Nice to hear from you, Robbo. Cheers, mate. And so, when I used to, last winter, I spent months in Glencoe, living down Glen Etive in the back of the van, roughing it, sleeping bag, stove, couple of candles, and I roughed it, and I exploited all of that area, climbing up and down both sides of Glen Etive Road, all over the Buckle, Stob, Derg, Stob, Ban, all over it. Anakiga, Biddy and Nambian, just in general, hammering Glencoe. I love Glencoe. Glencoe is a tough environment. It's very, very cold in the winter because you are in the glen and you don't get a lot of the sun through the day. It's freezing and it rarely heats up. So all your kit suffers, things get damp and all the rest of it. So you're running the van, you're running the heaters, trying to heat the van. Didn't have a night heater because I'm a dinosaur. And ultimately, but I loved being there. Now, with the cost of fuel, when it went crazy, I noticed to myself, you know, going to Torridon, Wester Ross, North West Highlands, Assynt, Fisherfield, Dundonald Estate. These places, you know, they're 4, 5, 6 hour drives, and it was a fortune. So when you get there, it's like, don't just up sticks and then go, you know, Ben Hope, Ben here, Ben there, you know, Ben her. You can't do it. So I was localising myself in an area, and cheers, Lou. Oh, the Madrid game's on, Andy. I don't watch the football, as you know, big man, but enjoy yourself, Andy, and I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're staying healthy and looking after yourself, bud. It's a big guy, I know, from where I used to be from. Big Andy, son boy. So, two Barhead boys in the chat, Robbo and Big Hislop, that's funny. So I now localise myself to an area and I exploit that area. So when I talk now about goals, my goals now are just to say, right, instead of the long game saying I'm going to be in the North West Highlands for 4 weeks, I'm going to say up there, 3 days tops, grab the kit and go, do that area, grab as much as I can from it and then pull off. Couple of days work, couple of days doing my other thing, and then get back onto the house somewhere. Because I notice when I haven't been summiting, I notice how I feel mentally, right? By the way, you need to bear with me, guys. Susan's going to give me a row. She knows how long I've suffered from this root canal problems with my back teeth, which I've had for years, and it's coming back again. And no, I never get it fixed, Susan, so don't be giving me a bollocking. So I'm going to go 2-3 days now, couple overnighters, couple of summit camps, and then pull off an area. I still want to get back to Torridon, the North West Highlands, Wester Ross, Gairloch, all around that area. Inveralligan, Ben, you know, just that whole range up there, it's fantastic. I want to get back to the Grey Corries as well, the Monleiths, the Mamors. I've done loads of them, but there's little pockets and little areas where I haven't done. There's obviously still loads of, you know, of Scotland. I wouldn't like to guess at the percentage of. I've seen most of Scotland, but there are areas where clearly there's still hundreds of summits to be done. I'm not just talking about the Munros, of which there are like 282. You've got the Grahams, the smaller ones. You've got the little like Wainwrights and stuff down south, and you know there's loads of climbing down around like Galloway, the hills down there. I want to get and do big days instead of summit days. Big days as in 20-25 mile days, you know, 30-kilometre days where you're out and you're on rolling countryside or you're doing big loop walks. I'm going to try and throw some of that in and build my long my long game, build my endurance and my stamina. I've always had very good endurance and stamina. A lot of people get them muddled up. Fitness is very, very different from, like, you know, short-term explosive fitness when you train for 40 minutes or play a game of football. Stamina is the long game. I can actually go out, you know, and do it for 12 hours. That's what I want to build again, because I know I've got it naturally, so I just need to fine tune it a little bit and get it back, because you do lose it, guys. I've noticed, you know, I've noticed how things can slip, and with it, with not getting out regularly and not summiting and not, you know, making that work, yes, hope springs, definitely. You tend to then go out one day and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I really struggled with that, and you shouldn't be struggling. So I know what I'm talking about, in the sense where I need to be. So my goals slipped at the start of the year for one reason or another, and now all of a sudden we're round about the 20th or the 21st of February, and here we are. Now, next week it's March, and it only seems like yesterday we were talking about squaring January away, guys. Are you rolling with me in this one? I'm talking about making hay while the sun shines. We need to get on it. Everybody does, me included. Now, if I was the driving force for some of you and I let you down, well, I apologise. So let's claw it back and let's get back to where we are. The momentum, where we were having regular chats, even wee 10-minute check-ins is enough to boost somebody. Now, I feel like of late, I've let some of you down and took my eye off the ball, because I know some of you reached out and said those little, every couple of days, little catch-ups were keeping people afloat and keeping their heads above the parapet. So I am acutely aware that I haven't been doing that. So for that, I do apologise, and it's genuine, and I won't let it slip again. And if I do let it slip, please remind me, okay? Nilo, I get it, mate. You do lose it. You lose the motivation. You see, luckily where I'm based just now, I've got bits of work going on, so I'm on the move, and I was away doing something today and it didn't quite come off the way we were hoping. We didn't get the result we were hoping for, but we will. And I was on the way back looking over at the Cairngorms and, you know, the Larry Grew, the valley that I painted and stuff like that. One of my favourite places in Scotland is the Cairngorms on this side. And it was all clear, the tops were clear. There was a bit of snow up there, but it was crystal and it all looked blue and it looked phenomenal. And then I feel the draw, I feel that natural draw to it. I'm saying to myself, I should be up there. Or even in the past few days, I should have been up there. And although I do regularly get up there, I haven't been up for any length of time, and I haven't captured quite a few of the things that I wanted to. Now, that's at the extreme end of the spectrum. And remember, I say to you, have you climbed your mountain today? Well, we're looking at, yeah, Chris, I get it. You take, you know, as soon as you take your, especially at our age, Chris, you take your eye off the ball and you just slip. And once your fitness goes, you can lose it permanently if you really let it go. Putting the pounds on, they're much harder to go off, and you very quickly fall into comfort and convenience. Now, that's a thing that terrifies me, because I'm kind of cut a different way, I would say, to most people, where I like to regularly experience discomfort, which makes me appreciate comfort a lot more than it normally would. I regularly like to feel discomfort and put myself in awkward, you know, adverse conditions, purely to keep myself preoccupied on when it's good, you know, appreciate that it's good and don't just take it for granted. You know what I mean by that? So I don't want to fall into the trap of convenience and comfort, where everything's just to hand and everything's just easy and nothing's a stress. Guys, although we need to control it and we do things to try and get away from it, you literally need stress at times in your life, because stress is a conditioning process. Without stress, how can you overcome something? You know, when you stress a piece of metal, you very quickly learn how strong that piece of metal is. Or if you're an engineer and you've made it, you will quickly realise where the weaknesses are, and you will therefore alter things, and you'll redesign and you'll strengthen. That's what stress does. When you expose yourself to adversity and stress, it's no different from a piece of metal. You are looking for the weak spots, and then you're learning by definition how to overcome them. So that's what I'm doing, and I am aware of how easy it is to fall into comfort and fall into convenience. You know, just buying ready-made food and eating it and having no thought. You hit a button in a microwave, you hit a button in no thought to anything. Where lately I've been eating, like, trying to eat more wholesome foods, fruits, nuts, you know, raw vegetables. And see, when you eat them for a few days, you feel amazing because the bloat's gone. See, when you eat real food, real fruit, real vegetables, not plastic cut up, pre-done for you. Get a pineapple and peel it yourself, and, you know, cut it with a knife and use your hand muscles. And I bought a whole chicken today and stripped it all out with my fingers, every single bit of it. Pulled it all apart, ripped all the sinew out, all the bone, all the ligaments, separated it all. And you know, instead of just opening a packet and learning to use things like, when I talk about grounding with my feet, take your feet off and walk over pebbles, or walk over stones, or walk over a field, and see how it makes you feel. And don't jump about and be scared of a thorn or a scalp. Who cares? If you get one, who cares? You'll fix it, it's no problem. But that experience, you're using muscles in your feet that you haven't used if you've been trainers on for 5 years, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that feels great. All of a sudden your ankle works differently, and your calf works differently, and your quads work, and everything works differently. How you doing, Davey Holiday? And your back, everything comes into it by grounding with your feet, instead of relying on a trainer to take all the pressure. That's a bit of a mad example, but you'll get the gist of what I mean. It's like working with tools gloved. I can't wear gloves. It's a barrier between me and the tool, me and the item, and it feels like it's not allowing my hand to, you know, grip it the right way, or just feel it, or it's just weird. I just don't like working with gloves. I find them quite, you know, I'm quite adverse to gloves. I just don't like working confined or with too much kit on, you know, big heavy jackets and all that. I like to be kind of free, and I like movement. So when I talk about overcoming stuff, overcoming stress, you have to expose yourself to stress. Now, lately I have been seeing people who are struggling with everything that's going on. Now, you can let it affect you, or you can realise what it is. There's an awful lot out there, some real bad will, there's some bad feeling, there's stuff in social media. The news is all about one thing, and the minute that they've washed you all or rinsed you all with that, they're throwing something else at you, and it's all very negative. Take time out, guys, and turn those channels off, and, you know, put that social media away, and, you know, unplug for a while, and revert to type, revert to nature, revert to real sound, you know, not fabricated sound and mechanical engineered sound. Revert to, go and walk through a forest or something, turn it all off, leave your phone in the house, and just take yourself away from it, and set your stall out for the year. Time's getting on already. It's going to be the summer soon. We're already at the first part of, like, the summer solstice, you know. It begins before you know it's ending again. So get something achieved, get something in your head that you can focus on, and do it and enjoy doing it. The weeks, I can't believe the speed that the weeks have flown in. I can't believe how quick this year's going, and I can't believe, you know, the age of myself, the age of my kids, just how much time evaporates right in front of your eyes while you're looking the other way, while you are relying on convenience and comfort and the monotony of everyday life and just going through the motions just to get the time in. Perhaps throw caution to the wind a little and live a little, live for yourself for a change. And yeah, Julius, I get it. I know you're admin, and Julius, I was going to ask you to mod for me ages ago, and I see your name all the time, and I'm like, Julius must be like round the clock moderating, and it would bloody drive you mad. So I didn't ask. So guys, I'm just going to get back to, I'm trying to like reset the clock, but you can't steal the time back. So the goals I had for January have fallen into February. Now I'm approaching March. Don't get me wrong, I've achieved some stuff. I've had some fun doing it. But the temperatures are starting to rise, and I need to focus on getting things done month to month. I know what I need to be doing month to month. I'm building something, and I've got the location sorted, and I'm just prepping, at the beginning of prepping the materials for it, and I'm building something. I'm building a little wild camp, a little off-grid wild camp, but one that's usable, that I can take a group of you. Say we're up in Cairngorm, for instance, I could say, right, end of the day we're going here, jump in, sit down and all the rest of it, and he's like, this is going to be quite cool. So I'm working on that. It takes an awful lot of manpower and a lot of time, a lot of prep. Putting it together is just common sense and a bit of logic, but it's good fun. So that's what I'm going to do, and it's going to take a couple of months because there's a lot of cutting and a lot of carrying from one area, you know, all the way to the other, and prepping the wood and stuff, because it's all natural materials. Everything that I'm going to show you is done with what grows out the ground, cut from areas that it's rapidly replenished, you know, and it's stuff that you're allowed to cut. Hazel, stuff like that, riverbank stuff that just sprouts back up. I wouldn't cut anything that was a slow grower, I just wouldn't. Still drinking a lot of tea. I've got my, how do you like them apples, my Karma Korma, Coffee Nation. So, and I'm enjoying my painting. I don't even know why it started, right? Because look, we and you need to catch up anyway. I've never in my life been into arty stuff, never. I can't draw to save my life. And all of a sudden, I was looking at a piece of slate. When I picked it up, I was fixing a house that fell off the roof, and I was like, I quite like the feeling of it. I've always liked slate as a material, and I had these acrylic paint pens and stuff, and I just started doodling, and I was like, I'm enjoying this, because I'm a weirdo that way, you know. I enjoy weird, spontaneous things, and I was like, oh, that goes on the slate quite well. So I started to do it. You know, I think I painted something daft, like a thistle or a Scotland flag, and then I just liked it. Before you know it, I'd done a couple. I'd done an AC coming back to life. I'd done one for DC, Karma Corner. I've done Big Mats. I've done a few. Done Wee Charlie one, which he's going to get tomorrow. I think Wee Charlie's is a cracker. So I just fell into it, and all of a sudden I was like, you know, getting different paint pens and getting like spray epoxy, which is like a clear lacquer, a clear coat for over the top to preserve it and stop it blurring and stuff, and I just really enjoyed it. All of a sudden now, every little spare night, I'm doing a little bit of painting on slate, which is weird. Now I've been collecting stones from different places and painting stones, and I've got an idea for them, which, you know, I'll show you when I do it. But yeah, it's quite interesting. It's just a pastime and I enjoy it. Takes my mind off what I'm doing through the day. A lot of what I do, as you know, is quite taxing in the brain, and when I do that, I'm not thinking about it because I'm concentrating. So aye, weirdly I enjoy it, and I've never ever thought that I was good at doing anything. Which I'm not saying they're good, they're alright, but you know, they're not great, they're quite basic. Probably a child could do them better, but I enjoy it, and I don't care. So that's where I'm at, that's what's happening. And like comedy, art is subjective, so you know, somebody on Deco's channel called me Van Gogh. I was going to go on and sellotape my ear down, do my best Van Gogh impersonation, you know. But I'm going to keep doing them. I need to redo Big Match because it got broke in the mail, which is a bummer. Big Man was raging, so was I, but these things happen, don't they? So I'll crack on with that. And cheers, Danny. Julie says she's brilliant, mate. Julie's pops up everywhere. Busy mod. Busy mod, Julie's. It's funny seeing the names because I'm like, oh geez, another. Yep. So guys, all good. Everything's fine, healthy, apart from the toothache, which just popped up a few days. You know, it lets me know it's still there and it's unfinished. I think my mate's a dentist. He started it about 3 years ago. I need to go and see him anyway. Dragonflies and hummingbirds. Pebbles on a beach. Dragonflies are incredible. They're called damsels, blue damsels, and I used to watch them hatching. And obviously, being a fisherman, we understand. You know, there was a place near my fishery which was incredible for dragonflies. They were huge, and I used to tell kids that they were fairies. I'd be like, look, there's the fairies flying about, and they'd all be amazed by them, try to catch them. You know, these big, beautiful dragonflies, because when they flutter like that, they actually look like wee fairies, which, who knows, maybe that's where they were coined from. I remember Arthur Conan Doyle, he wrote a book, didn't he, and he said that wee girls in Yorkshire had painted fairies at the bottom of a garden, and they, it went all round the houses and people were saying it was true and stuff. Remember that years ago, and I probably thought maybe that's where they got the idea from. Probably seen it in their wee imaginations have ran away. Aye, this place was incredible. It had huge ones, and it was weird. The other reservoirs in the area didn't have huge ones, so something there, maybe the food or whatever it was, the environment was making them much, much bigger. But they're incredible when you see them. Aye, stunning. There's certain places have got all different colours as well. You get red ones, green ones, blue ones. But no, we're sorted. All my kit's ready to go. I'm going to do a kit video for the start of the year, kind of early year kit video, because you still need to be considering the cold, especially just now, and you still need to know how to navigate. And then I'm going to do a few camps. Everything's it's all there set up. I've got different packs set up, which I do have anyway. Should the notion just overcome me to go, I know where to grab and I'm gone, and that's it. It's as quick as that. Out the door. But yeah, I just thought I'd check in and make sure everybody was feeling good, and let's keep in touch, and I'll get some content sorted. As I say, make hay, because I'm already behind. I'm already behind in what I wanted to be doing. I thought I would have had the kayaks on the water and stuff and bits and bobs, and it's just not happened. The time's just flying. So I need to remind myself of that on a regular basis, because those pitch black nights at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all of a sudden we're like to have 5, 6 o'clock, 2 or 3 weeks time, it'll be 8 o'clock, and then before you know it, it's literally light all night long. And then you're in the way back down. It's just so fast. The speed of which it comes and goes is just absolutely terrifying. But and a load of people to catch up with. So remember we spoke about getting a get together, guys. If you want to put a date, or I'll just pick it, and whoever can make it makes it in an area of Scotland, and then maybe a month down the line I'll move down the country a little bit and make it easier for people, and then I'll probably bounce over the east coast and do a bit, which is fair for everyone, and it involves everyone and gives everyone an equal chance to get a wee day out We'll go and get a wee day out, throw a barbecue or something on a beach, something like that. Get a bit of crack, eh? We spoke about it, so let's do it. Because time moves fast and people fall by the wayside, and sometimes people need a helping hand. Now, I can't always comment on who reaches out to me because of privacy, which I'll always maintain. But believe me, remember I always say, you wouldn't believe the comment section, what it does for people. Folk have contacted me and said, Alex, such and such from your comments helped me with this, and it's changed, you know, it's made me feel so good. You can't put a price in that. Gaz Carroll went down to see Jim Smith. Yeah, the signal's going a wee bit funky. I don't know why. It's maybe the cloud or something where I am. But aye, they had a good crack, which is good, you know. It's always good to see people just catching up like that. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's, you know, it's for nothing. It's just, I'll come down and see you. He knows Jim's, what's going on with Jim, you know, with his health and stuff, and it's always nice to reach out to people. So what does it cost you to be civil to somebody? Nothing. You know, it doesn't need to be a big deal, does it? Just to be civil and give somebody a bit of your time. There you go. So, right guys, I've rabbled on long enough. And my tea's went cold and I've not finished it. Okay, it's nice to talk to everybody. I have got stuff on tomorrow. And then going towards the weekend, I will be definitely on a mountainside somewhere. I have a few people to catch up with. Big Luca. Hopefully see wee Charlie Fleeting tomorrow. And give him his bit of slate. I've got his walking stick for Jim. And Jim sent up more slate for me to work with. Spanish slate, big stuff. So I'm looking forward to get my hands on that. He even cleaned it for me, such as the gentleman that he is. So cheers, Jim. Shout out to you, mate. And all good, guys. Happy days. As I say, I'm fit, healthy, head's clear. Usual toothache, but hey, could always be worse. Anyway, pleasure talking to you. I hope you're all well. Thanks for checking in, and we will catch up soon, okay? And catch up before the weekend, right? Good talking, and as always, stay steady, striving. Good night, guys. Take it easy.